seventh condition is that the item you're buying has to be possible to be delivered. And what do we mean by that? You can't sell something you do not possess or you're unable to deliver. For example, you can't come to the Serengeti and say to someone, okay, you see this zebra? It's yours for $10. Okay, give it to me. So no, you go and catch it. You can't sell a tuna fish in the ocean. Said the blue tuna fish is yours for $1,000. Where is it? It's in the ocean. Go and get it. You have to be able to deliver it, because this is ambiguity. I can't sell you birds on this in the sky unless I can deliver it. Yani, for example, if I sell you pigeons and the pigeons are mine, but they're flying. Some scholars say, yes, but they will come back to their nests on my rooftop to eat. This is what they do every day. So it's permissible to sell. No, it's not. Because there's a possibility that someone's going to shoot them down, or a predator or an eagle can eat them, and then I'm unable to deliver it. So how can I sell it to someone without being able to deliver it? If someone says, yeah, but the buyer is fine with it, still, he's fine because he's gambling, he's getting it for a cheaper price, and that is not permissible. There are transactions that are prohibited in Islam. And there are so many of them, but what comes on top of the list, and yani, you could see that this is the dominant transactions, they are a number of sales. Generally speaking, buying and selling is not forms of worship where innovation is possible, in the sense that if someone says, in Salat, I'd like to put my hand right over the left on my forehead. I said, no, this is an innovation. Why? Because it was not reported in the Quran or in the Sunnah. Issues of worship have to be backed up by evidence from the Quran and Sunnah. If not, then it's an innovation. In transactions, it's the other way around. If there is nothing to prove it's haram, the default is it's halal. Simple as that. Allah says in the Quran, but Allah has permitted trade. وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعِ. So this is the general tendency. However, there are certain cases and scenarios where Islam tells us that this is not permissible to go ahead with. For example, you're not allowed to sell on the day of Friday after the adhan is called, which usually follows the imam coming into the masjid saying, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and he sits. Then the adhan is called. Once the adhan is called, which means that the imam is going to give his sermon, it is totally prohibited for you to buy and sell. Allah says, O you who believe, when the adhan is called for the prayer on the day of Friday, on Jum'ah, then proceed to the remembrance of Allah and leave trade. This is restricted to those who are obliged to attend. Children are exempted, slaves are exempted, women are exempted, because they are not obliged to attend, so they can sell and buy as well. Also, it is not permissible to trade, to sell and buy things that are used for haram purposes, such as selling weapons to fighting parties. It's a time of fitna. It's a time of civil war. And, I can make a lot of money. I can raise the prices. I can be rich in no time. So I start to sell and buy these haram things. No, it's not permissible. It's not permissible to sell items that are used in haram. So I know this is a brewery, and they're asking me to sell them sugar, sell them water, sell them fruits to be used in their breweries and make intoxicants. No, this is not permissible. Allah Azza wa Jal says, and cooperate in righteousness and piety, and do not cooperate in sin and transgression. So this is not permissible to do that. Among the haram transactions, selling and buying, is undercutting one's Muslim brother or outbidding him. Because the Prophet said, ﷺ, do not undercut or outbid one another. How is this happening? I see someone trying to sell another person an item. And he says, oh, this watch is beautiful, it gives you the time, and it's expensive, and it's this much. And I outbid him. I said, Akhi, I can sell you the same watch $200 less. How would the seller feel? He would feel hostility, enmity, hatred towards me, because I've ruined his deal. And this is totally haram and prohibited in Islam. However, scholars say this situation, which is forbidden, is only after the deal has been concluded. So now we're just writing the contract, and I spoiled it. But if it's in the times of auctioning, if it's in the time where a person is looking for a best deal, and there's no commitment, no interest, I'm just asking for the price. So they say that there is no problem to say it before a commitment is done. And the safest is to be safe and far away from such dealings altogether until he has concluded his communication, whether by rejecting the offer or by finalizing the deal. I should not intervene so that I would not cause any hatred or enmity in the soul of the seller, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabiyyina Muhammad.